So now that we've seen what happens when a user tries to edit content that's using a text format that they don't have permission for, what's then going to happen to all of the tours that were initially created during the process of building out the content for this site? When we did that, we didn't have the site editor text format available to us. So now it seems that when a tour guide comes in to modify a tour, that they're going to get that same error message that says they don't have permission to work with the content, right? Well, let's go ahead and test that. I'm going to jump back to the administration section and let's click on Find Content. And what we're going to do is look at a tour and see what the current text format is that's selected for it. So I'm going to reset the filters and I'm going to filter by tour and click filter. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the first one that we added, the Mount McKinley Club September meeting. I'm going to click edit and I'm going to scroll down and we see that the text format selected here is filtered HTML. So it would seem like at this point that anybody trying to edit this content would run into a problem with permissions. But something interesting happens when there's no body in the input that the text format is associated with. So if we, for example, change this format here to Site Editor, and then we scroll down to the bottom and click Save, and then we came back to edit this piece of content, let's go ahead and click Edit next to the piece of content, we would expect to see Site Editor as the text format selected, but if we scroll down, we'll see that Filtered HTML is selected. So what's happening here is that if there's a text box that has a text format associated with it, and there's no actual content in it, then no data about what text format is being used will be saved either. So why is this important to know? Well, when you're creating content for a site and creating placeholder pages so that you can link to them, and you know that everything is linked together properly, you have the option of adding some default text. So using some lorem ipsum text or saying, this page is coming soon. Well, as soon as you add that content, you have to associate a text format with it. And then later on down the road, when you have other editors to your site coming in and modifying that content, they may run into permission issues. But if you leave the content blank, then that text format won't be associated with it. And so when one of your editors comes in to add the content, they'll be able to use whatever text formats they have permissions for. So this is just one thing to keep in mind as you set up your site, that sometimes you may want to leave the content blank so that you don't run into these permission issues.